Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus lines. Welcome to your work, career, vocation read for August and September 2021. I am your reader, fellow Earth sign, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch on Kindle, link in the description box. The Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi. I love doing work, career, vocation reads, particularly because it's a break from all the relationship stuff, although you never know what's going to hit the table, right? If you are new to my channel, just go down and check the description box because there's always tons of links in there. And if you want to book me for a reading, there's a video I did, I guess 2 weeks ago now, that I really enjoyed making, and people kind of enjoy watching it, how to book a reading with me, but more importantly, what actually goes on in a reading before, during, and after. Like, for example, I ask all my clients to contact me 48 hours after their reading to see how they're integrating it, and really if they have any quickie questions. I'm not rereading somebody over the phone or video, whatever. Other than that, let's talk about you. Like I said, I'm a fellow Earth sign, Virgo here, so I really relate really well to Taurus and Capricorn, the fellow Earth signs. So what we do in the world tends to maybe define us a little bit more than it should. So what we're looking at here is a way of integrating your work, your career, and your vocation. 3 levels of power. There is also a link in the description box from Carolyn Myss. We're using her archetype deck here. Talking about the 3 levels of power. In this case, the 3 levels, a lens of looking at your life purpose. Work, what you do to survive. Career, your internal hunger, passion, thirst, right? What lights you up. And your vocation, your spiritual calling. There are chakras involved. I'll call them out as we go. We're dealing with all 8 chakras. That's all in my book as well, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. We deal with the star center, the soul center, the 8th chakra, which I learned from Carolyn Myss, Anatomy of the Spirit, one of my favorite books. I think I'm ready to do another audio lecture. I'll go back, right? I'm sure they're on YouTube. I'll go check them out. Alrighty, so both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can from my pantheons of the divine to help you bring your work, career, and vocation into alignment, which is really about not just fulfilling your life purpose, but finding your life purpose fulfilling. Please take a nice deep breath. And of course money's in this too, right? It's not just about let's, be spiritual and not be able to pay our bills. It's about really bringing all of that into alignment. So here we go, as I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, and vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What are the 3 archetypes at play in the work, career, vocation for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading to represent the 8th chakra, if you will, of their work, career, and vocation? First, their work, their survival intuition, how they navigate through the physical world. That's the archetype there. For their career, heart, throat, third eye, crown, right? That interior world, creative intuition that lights them up. And in their vocation, really, that 8th chakra dynamic, their spiritual calling, right? The inspiration that calls them forward. Their divine mission, if you want to even call it that. Their visionary intuition. So it's survival intuition, creative intuition, visionary intuition. Now these are in the description box. Sorry, these are in the title. So let's see how brave you are. Well, you're probably incredibly brave because nobody wants to see this first one, and yet keep in mind you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and this might be more about the lesson, particularly dealing with the addict archetype. Now I say it every time, everybody has their addictions, right? You could even say 3 levels of power, right? Eau de toilette, cologne, or perfume, right? What level of it is that? But because it is survival, the work is survival intuition, this might very well be somebody you're dealing with in your work in some way, shape, or form, and they're just asking me, because we do have the artist here, we have the seeker and the artist, we'll get there in a minute, that how many artists which is usually, you consider that a career, but could also be a calling, right, a vocation, have to do something in the physical world to make money in order to support their career, right? It's about streamlining all of that. So the Addict is the Wild family archetype. There are 9 families. Seeker is the Wisdom family archetype, a Wisdom family archetype. And the Artist is Creative. So this feels like a very interesting alignment. Now, keep in mind, not all addictions, I'm just going with what they're showing me, not all addictions are drugs and alcohol. It's just not, right? What about being addicted to food? Oh my God, you have to eat, right? Codependency, there's so many different forms. I have people in my family who are addicted to being right. That wasn't a blip in the video. That was like, yeah, right? And so many people are so addicted to being right that they won't surrender, right? Because of that idea of the loss of power, of being wrong. And then when they are proven wrong, they go through withdrawal symptoms, just saying, right? So let's look at the shadow and the light here. The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty. How do you know an addict is lying? Their lips are moving. Allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. And I'm not allowed to do that. I am blood vowed to gods to do the best that I can, right? So I have to be really wicked honest with myself, and I'm not allowed to compromise my honesty or my integrity for my work. I have to do what the inspiration is, even if everybody doubts me. The light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, of course your own. But certainly this could be someone else. Now, I know a lot of people work in recovery, right? Don't mean their own. I mean, like in the world. So that would sort of be a little on the nose for this. But I'm getting that. Like if you're any kind of healer, as well as even if you're a reader, oh, please, psychic vampires and tarot junkies, oh my God, if you're good, you get hundreds, if not thousands of them throughout your career. So that's what I'm saying. You're learning a really important power to develop in yourself to confront addictive behavior, maybe in yourself or someone else. Now, in your career, you've got the Seeker. Now, the Seeker, as I said, is a Wisdom family archetype, but the shadow of this in terms of a career placement can be a little tricky. Inability to commit to a path once found. Oh, I found the thing I want to do. What else you got, right? It's like the inability to commit, if you want to go there. The light attribute, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. So think of that thirst, like throat chakra, right? For truth and wisdom wherever they are, third eye. So there's definitely a third eye connection here, because the inability to commit is a throat chakra thing. There's a difference between a choice and a decision. A choice has a consequence. I just had coffee. I'm a little bit more awake now as a consequence, right? But a decision is life-changing. So it is true, if you don't know what to do, to make no decision can be a wise decision, but that's not in the shadow here. This is an inability to commit to a path once found. All right. Again, could be somebody involved in your career in some way, shape, or form that you're learning how to really get clear to see truth and wisdom. And the artist in the vocation, that can just express itself in so many different ways. So many people don't get that they are artists because they don't have visual or performing arts skills, right? Or maybe they don't make something with their hands necessarily. But think writers, think, I say it all the time. My mom is an artist, she's Cancerian. Her house, her garden, if you follow me on Instagram or watched any of the videos that I did while I was in Saratoga a couple of days ago, you'll see what I mean. I mean, everywhere you look, it's art, but it's not necessarily all objet, so to speak. I love the artist archetype. The shadow, however, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, a little Naomi Campbell vibe just flashed into my third eye there. Posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. Now, I have the artist a lifetime. I was born an artist. It's in my house of my sign of Leo, my Leo rising Mars conjunct. So I'm very familiar with that. And I don't pose as the starving artist, but when I don't have what I need, I go into prayer. And then I'm guided to ask for what I need, if not financially, then in terms of support. I have lower back issues. I'm like, just show me what you want me to do. And then within the next 24 to 48 hours, everything that I need is given to me, if not pretty instantly, right? So that's what I mean about this 8th chakra placement in your vocation. Very powerful. To alchemize it into the light, right? Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses. I've been listening to a lot of Terry Pratchett audiobooks on YouTube. I love them, right? And just the stories he comes up with, it's not in the physical world. He just brings it in and through in such complexity and humor and satire. I love Terry Pratchett. God rest his soul. I'm starting over the entire Discworld series from the beginning again. So expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And hello, look what I'm doing, right? So I'm very well vetted in that artist archetype. So what is your spiritual calling in terms of your art? Now, you could say, I create my own reality, that's my art, and that's valid. But remember, the reality that you create is really heart, throat, third eye, crown, more the psychological dimension. It's not like we can just that and Vegas, unless you can, in which case, why are you watching videos? Go have fun in the 10,000 degree heat I'm sure Vegas is dealing with right now. Let's go a little deeper here. Yeah, we're doing 12 cards in this spread. This is Daughters of the Moon. This will be the next 4 chakras down. Heart, throat, third eye, crown. Your inside world. So even if a court card pops up, right, as a diacal-based court card, it's more about a dynamic going on inside of you. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my goddesses of Earth in the sign of Taurus, please, 3 cards in clarity, face down. What's going on inside of them? Sort of the personal level of their work, career, vocation, right? The world behind their eyes, heart, throat, third eye, crown. Dealing with the addict archetype in their work. Okay, dealing with the seeker in their career. Lovely. And dealing with the artist in their vocation. No. It's so funny. It's so humid here, and the cards are really not sticking together. I'm kind of glad about that. So yeah, that artist in the 8th. What's going on there? Okay, well, the 8th chakra. Let's see. Uno, dos, tres. All water cards, okay? The addict. You've got compassion inside. Now, compassion, right? I go Buddhist first. I go Buddhist first. I go Eastern when it comes to compassion. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, right? Truth without compassion is brutality, right? I try and live by that unless the gods deliver lightning through me. But I will tell you something about compassion for free, because this is a YouTube video. It's all for free. It's all for you, Damien. Compassion for yourself is just as important as compassion for others. You have to fill your own cup and then give of the overflow. And that's kind of what we're seeing here in this card. A woman laying on the beach with, this is the 6 of Cups, right? So it's not so much about nostalgia and, you know, someone returning from the past, but laying on the beach with 5 of her friends, sort of laying on of hands, reiki, schmakey, eggs and bakey, whatever. But if you look, I don't know if you can see the faces, right, on this side of the card, right, of the ebb and flow of compassion, because selfless compassion we get, selfless compassion we get applauded for. Oh, they're so wonderful, but we burn out and become resentful. Too much selfish compassion, which you could say is self-care, that kind of stuff, can really be very isolating. So it's really the pendulum swing until you find the means of bringing that all together in the center in a balanced way, which is what this reading is about. All of them are work, career, vocation. So let's look at your heart, third eye, crown dynamic inside, right? The seeker with the Ace of Cups. There is a new love, or at least an opportunity of it. A new thing. Happiness is what's written on the card. So this feels like you're not just seeking happiness, but there is happiness, or at least the seed, right? It'll eventually get to a 10 if you take the journey, but you might have to commit to the path. Like you found something intuitively, and not just lower chakra intuition, heart chakra intuition. Because I kind of love this. This is great. Now, what will your mind do with it, right? Wisdom, family, or will it talk you into or out of? Maybe a little of both. I love that. And okay, here we go. In your vocation, like we said, you got the artist with the moon, Yamaya. Now, the path is always under your feet. I love this card. Though I do not practice with the Orishas, I certainly know who Yamaya is. All gods are one god, all goddesses one goddess, and in truth, God and goddess are one. Marion Zimmer Bradley-ish, Mists of Avalon, I always paraphrase. The moon, yeah, sure, there's some confusion. You don't know. Heart, third eye, cronitis, but I don't know, but I can feel it. Why I love this card, if you've ever been at a large body of water at full moon, doesn't matter where you stand on the shore, the full moon always shows the path that's always under your feet. It's just sometimes, rather than others, it's easy to see, right? And this is symbolic. But it says you are being guided, but I don't think the intellect alone is going to be enough. Rather, what they're kind of showing me here is for you to just let what you're feeling here be expressed somehow, even if it doesn't create product. Can you imagine going in it for the process? Whether it's journaling, dance, cathartic, anything, right? Whatever you find or led your art form to be, knowing that you don't know. I will say, the grace of humility, right? A thirst and wisdom for truth wherever they are. If you know that you don't know, it's in my book, Words of Grace. It's the first and last grace I talk about. It's my saving grace. The maiden grace, I call it. Please grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know. But I am willing to be shown the truth, right? I am willing to be shown, and I trust that I will be shown when I need to know, not necessarily when I want to know. So it feels like such a powerful major arcana card that, yes, things may be cloudy and occluded and emotional, but that's, an artist uses that. I mean, as much as I love Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves on a fun day, you know, when you're already there, there is something to be said about the sadder songs that squeeze your heart. I mean, how much great art really came from pure joy 24/7, 365? No, some of our greatest art on work came from people who were struggling. Now, I don't know that this is necessarily a physical thing. We'll look at that in the next three cards. But certainly in terms of, I don't know what my vocation is, well, look at it from the point of view of an artist. Then let me express this feeling that is just beyond the five senses, right? In some way, shape, or form, even in any way. I mean, it can be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to make money. You see what I'm saying? But it will help bring this all together. Okay. The addict, the seeker, and the artist walk into a bar. Look at employment office. All right. Mythic Tarot. What's going on? Root, sacrum, solar plexus here. More the physical stuff. You from the outside looking in, or maybe you inside looking out at some aspect of the physical, and keep in mind it can be all of that. Yeah. Please take a nice deep breath. So call upon my gods of earth and the sign of Taurus. Please, three cards in clarity, face down. For the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, and vocation, please. We've got the Addict in their 8th chakra for their work, 6 of Cups on the inner. What's on the outer? Please, just one card. We'll put on the air conditioning after this reading. Try these cards out if they start to get hard to shuffle. In their career, they've got the Seeker in the 8th, the Ace of Cups, happiness on the inner, there's their outer, and in their vocation, the Artist in the 8th, the Moon on the inner. What's going on the outer here? Give them a nice clue, a nice tip, a nice hint. Two major arcana cards in a page. Now, for me, the pages don't hold such zodiacal correspondences. It's cardinal, fixed, immutable, king, queen, knight. The pages are messages or messengers. And we'll get there in a minute, because you got the Addict, right? I really feel like this might be you taking compassion and time for yourself and dealing with an addictive person, place, or thing. because it's crossed with the Hermit. I feel like this is you from the outside. You're like, okay, I need to go deeper in and higher up to get up into that 8th chakra and really seek whatever this Ace of Cups is inside of you. Let's look at that next. Got the Seeker in the 8th, right? Manifesting as this Ace of Cups happiness. With the Page of Wands, something's coming in that is exciting. That's the vibe on the card, not just the intellectual meaning. That is that like, oh, I think I love it. I think I don't know. But some message coming in, probably an opportunity, but maybe not delivered directly to you, right? Like someone says, here, do this. So much as like, I don't know, you're reading the paper. Do people still do that? And you see an opportunity. You don't know how many times people have actually seen things in newspapers, online, whatever, and said, this is so right up your alley, and I investigated, and it ends up being really important that if I wasn't supposed to see it, somebody else brought it to me. So Page of Wands, very, very cool. Because here's the dealio, darling. This is going to sound rough, but it's not as bad as you think. You got the Artist in the 8th. You got the Moon inner. And you got the Death card, Hades, Lord of the Underworld in the Mythic Tarot. Huge transformation going on that you may not be able to see unless you really, really go up inner and upward. I mean, you got Death in your vocation. It doesn't mean your vocation's dying. It means that there is an external transformation going on that is actually, you're not supposed to know what's going on, but you are supposed to, should you so choose, to see this as part of an artwork in some way, and for you to express yourself, to tread water, right? You will get through this, but the transformation isn't done yet, right? That's going to make its way. If you think about it, your career is going, your vocation is going to align your career and really transform, because of that Death card, your work. Bring it all into alignment, right? Alchemizing lead to gold, toxicity to health, that kind of stuff. 3 more cards. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Now, I'm going to say, if you watch your other signs, take the mantras, not the title so much, but the one side is the title, the other side is the mantra, and put them together in paragraphs. Sometimes they fit together so perfectly, it's like, oh, and then work it. Put your thing down, slip it, and reverse it. Please take a nice deep breath. Excuse you. I have the window open, and in the Aries reading, you can hear the cicadas outside. I was editing, I'm like, wow, what is that noise? And it's the insects outside, right? HD microphone. Breathe. There we go. My ascended masters of life purpose through the lenses of work, career, and vocation. Please, what are the 3 perfect healing mantras for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, in their work? They got the Addict in the 8th, 6 of Cups, compassion on the inner, the Hermit on the outer. I'm not looking. Wait until they're all on the table. In their career, they've got the Seeker in the 8th, the Ace of Cups on the inner, the Page of Wands on the outer, which feels almost shocking. So what's that? Their healing mantra for that. And in their vocation, they got the Artist in the 8th with the Moon on the inner and Death on the outer. Really, find someone that you can talk to. Find a spiritual director. I do spiritual counseling with people every day. If you want to book me, check my links. Read my links. So what is their perfect healing mantra? Right? They've got the Artist, the Moon, and Death. What's their perfect healing mantra in their vocation? Let's see who you got. I'm not reading for the bookie book on this. These are long enough. Oh, how lovely. I think you're going to dig this a lot. Okay, so again, the Addict, compassion on the inner, Hermit on the outer, liberating love. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. So that speaks a multitude about dealing with the Addict archetype, to give yourself the love, the attention, the care that only you can give you, particularly if you've been dealing with an addict, right? Trying to fill the black hole with everything, and they can only give themselves the love that only they can give them, right? And teach them by example if you really want to go there, by pulling back here. Being compassionate, that doesn't mean, just because you step away from somebody doesn't mean you don't love them. Sometimes that's exactly the guidance that is the best for the well-being of all. And remember, when you say the well-being of all, I always put that in my prayers and in my spells, because I don't know what the well-being of all is. Then whatever you're guided to do includes you. There's never a time where the well-being of all does not include you, right? I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give, and that's why this one is liberating love. There are pieces of you that feel in chains because of either your own addiction stuff, like I said, everybody's got them, or this really feels like you're dealing with something in your work, and to give yourself the hermit time to cry, to grieve, to scream, to whatever, but with that artist there, it's a transformative thing that's happening, hence liberating your love, right? Hunkering down and saying, I am going to love this part of myself, not to make it go away, but to integrate it, because there are pieces of wisdom in there, which if we're looking heart, third eye crown, right? Liberating love, heart chakra, the seeker, Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, anchoring the light. The light is always within me. The light is always within me, even when I don't know, even when I am dealing with my own addictions or in an addictive pattern. Yeah, just you. Everybody, right? And as I heal mine, everybody heals a little bit, right? This is my contribution. This is going to free up your career, because anchoring the light is always within me. So it kind of erases some of that judgment of how you're doing in the world behind your eyes. Good day, bad day. It's all a judgment, right? Feeling successful, feeling like a failure. I'm giving you extremes here. Anywhere in between. Well, the light is always within me. That I am it's my Course in Miracles lesson today. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. Well, you do have a function, the divine. I'm like that with the gender stuff with the divine. The Course in Miracles, it's all written in masculine pronoun, father and brother and stuff, so I mix it up for what opens my heart, right? So the light is always within you, which, by the way, light is also truth. The truth is always within you, and I feel like whatever this Page of Wands is like a trigger that opens your heart. In your work, you're going to have to pull back to kind of liberate that, to give that room to breathe, and to understand that the light, the truth, is always within you. And let's say, light attribute, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Right? So what are you learning? Right? Well, I think the more you sort of allow and embrace that Ace of Cups to be excited again, well, the truth is always within me. The light is always within me, so I'm always anchoring the light, because that is the truth of who we are. We're eternal beings in bodies. Remember that sort of key, particularly with the Artist, the Moon, and the Death card, receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy. I am born of infinite joy. Now, we're not talking about your childhood here. We're not even talking about any incarnation in particular. We're talking about all of them. You are born, the divine, in a burst of love and joy, which are the same thing in the higher planes, right? Created us. Created us. Really only one of us. We only appear to be separate, hence unity, consciousness, blah, blah, blah. The light is always within you. It doesn't matter what you're thinking or doing. The truth is always there. You are one. We are one with the divine. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as the divine created me, right? And so I am born of infinite joy. Now, you may not be feeling that right now, but you put these three together, let's just say liberating love, anchoring the light, and receiving elation. That right there is a recipe that feels really lovely. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment that I'm willing to give. And the light is always within me. An inexhaustible supply of light is always within me. And I am born of infinite joy. In terms of work, career, vocation, these again are like play school puzzle pieces. They do kind of fit together. a little perfectly. So hang in there. If you are dealing with your own addictions, again, be gentle with yourself. You know, at least you have a direction here. Hermit time, compassion for yourself, and of course compassion for others. But certainly, doesn't this speak of I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give, what we said about the ebb and flow there of the ocean? Let me put it together for you in a blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my pantheons of the divine, please may the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, and vocation, August and September 2021, that they may be helped recognizing and confronting addictive behavior with a thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically while they give compassion to themselves and perhaps from others from more of a hermit place, liberating love, allowing themselves to receive all the fulfillment they're willing to give, where in their career, that truth that they're seeking is always within them. With that Ace of Cups, a strong heart chakra intuition there because of some message coming to them that is very inspiring, creative, perhaps even exciting, so that they can anchor the light, really getting that the light is always within them, so that in their vocation, their calling, they can wade their way and take their time, knowing that the path is always under their feet, though they may not always understand it or see it or feel that, but so that they know their vocation is transforming them from the bones out. The phoenix rising, born of infinite joy as they receive elation through this hermit time, embracing this joy, this Ace of Cups in their heart chakra that they have been seeking, but now kind of have to commit to, so that they may heal, grow, and become the best that they can be and fulfill their role in the divine plan through their work, career, vocation, their life purpose, healing, and helping all of us for the well-being of all. So motivate. And so it is. I'd call this a thumbs up. I mean, yeah, like the video, but I mean, this one has very little womp womp in it. I mean, granted, you got the Death card, the Hermit. I love the Hermit. The Addict is a little tricky, but remember, all archetypes are neutral. If you study Carolyn May's Sacred Contracts, brilliant book, she'll tell you. They're all neutral. As wonderful as they sound, as toxic as they are, and vice versa. As dark as they sound, as brilliant as they are. It's just, where are you on the alchemical scale? So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, read my book, book me for a reading. I'm easy as pie. I live alone. I can do it at 3 a.m. Eastern time. I am in New York. Should you want to, yeah, and check out the links in my description box. I've got tons of stuff on Vimeo on demand too if you want to take a class with me, because they're pre-recorded, and as soon as I'm out there in the world again, I will be making more of those again. Thank you so much for watching, my beloved bulls. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.